Hey Tammy, so I think the easiest way for me to do this is just to show you how to do it. I'm using a Mac, so depending on what your computer looks like, the bottom is going to look different. Just disregard that. The Canvas page is going to look the exact same. In fact, I'm going to make this bigger so that that's not a distraction. So right now I'm just on the home page of my senior course. The first thing that you want to make sure is that your Zoom is visible, meaning that it doesn't have one of these eyeball thingies. And in order to make it visible, you go to settings. Sorry, my computer's like super slow. Go to navigation. And then you'll see here on the top, all of this is visible to the student. And then everything down here is not visible to the student. So if for whatever reason your Zoom is down here, just grab it and pull it up. Anywhere, doesn't matter, just as long as it's up here. Enable it. And then it will be up here for the students to be able to see. For me, my Zoom was already enabled. So you're gonna click on Zoom, like I did, and then you'll see this pop up that answers some basic questions. So it's there if you need it, it'll always pop up. Just click the arrow to make it go away. And then on here, you're going to select schedule a new meeting. It's going to ask what your topic is. It can just be your class. You can also add tomorrow's date or maybe the topic or the check-in. Maybe you want to mention whether or not it's office hours, mandatory, not mandatory. I'll show you in another one of my classes. This is what I titled it. So I titled it the class name I call it, office hours check-in, not mandatory, just so the kids know. So back to this, you have your topic right here. This is automatically going to be your class number. Then the description in here, you can explain what's going to happen in the Zoom. Is it office hours? Is it mandatory? Is it not? Then you schedule the date and time. So let's schedule this for tomorrow. I believe I see this group at 12:45, so I'm going to start my meeting at 12:30, but we really start at 12:45, so I'm just going to type 12:45 p.m. It'll last for an hour. And then everything else is set up for you. A password is automatically generated. If you wanted to, you could create your own password. The class name, your last name, something. You don't really have to. If you notice in our scripture meetings, Lewis always makes a password, where with our meetings with Karen, the password is automatically generated. Everything else you just completely leave as is, because the administration has already set everything up on their side, so you don't really have to mess with that. And then you click save. And so now I have the Zoom meeting scheduled. It's going to appear in the students' calendars, and they should be aware of it. What I also then do is, sorry, I'm just scrolling back up. And up here where it says invite attendees, I click on the copy the invitation, copy meeting invitation, and then in my, sorry, I'm forgetting that I'm recording. In my announcement section, when I create the agenda for tomorrow, I then will paste. So for me on my Apple, it's Command V. If you're working from a Windows computer, it is Control V to paste it. And then it has all of the information in there. I also, this is a trick that many people don't do, but it makes life so much easier. So at the URL where it starts with the HTTPS, if you go to the very end and just click enter, it'll make it a usable link so that your students just have to click on it. If you don't do that, they can still get in. It's just harder to get in. I have found just having that link available for them makes it super easy and seamless. And so you can hold office hours this way. You could also hold a Zoom class this way. But this will get you set up. And so this is all saved and ready to go. Sorry, again, computer's super slow. So tomorrow, what you can do is at the beginning of class, when you're ready to start, I just clicked on Zoom. The annoying pop-up popped up again. Just make it go away with the arrow. And here you'll see the meeting that I scheduled. So tomorrow at 12:45, the religion class, and then you'll see the option to start or delete. So when you're ready to start the Zoom, you just click on the start button and it will begin your Zoom. Again, my computer's wonky, so don't worry about all that. Yours should work just fine. I have to do a workaround because my computer is super, super old. But that's all you need to do to start your meeting tomorrow is just click start and it should all pop up. If you find it being problematic, Zoom is super easy from your iPad and you can access it the same way that I just described from Canvas, and you can start your meeting that way. You could also just start your meeting straight from the Zoom app. But if you're finding that the computer is being a little finicky or you're having trouble starting that meeting, doing it from the iPad might be the easier way. I will be up and having office hours all day. So if you run into any problems, please don't hesitate to send me a text message or give me a call or email me or whatever. And I will do my best to be able to answer any questions. But hopefully this gave you some clarification. If you have any questions following up this video that I'm sending you, again, don't hesitate to shoot me a text message. I will be up for quite a while. So that is kind of the short version of how to create a Zoom meeting.